How's it going, everyone? My name is Kasperanza, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the astrology of Gavin Newsom and why I think he will likely be the president for the 2028 election. I know it's super far ahead in the future, but if you look at his chart and the transits, it's amazing. I really think he has the presidency in the bag if he does decide to actually run. So first things first, last time when I predicted, so I made a prediction that Trump was going to be the next president. I have a video on it. And I said Donald Trump was going to win. And the reason why is because there was a Jupiter transit exactly conjunct Trump's sun, and then opposite the Jupiter was Venus conjunct his moon. So there was this very beautiful Jupiter Venus opposition highlighting Trump's really important placements. If you go to Gavin Newsom's chart, his sun is at 16 degrees of Libra. And if you go to the election of 2028, Venus and Jupiter will be exactly at 16 degrees of Libra, which, what does that tell you? Gavin Newsom's going to win. He's going to win the presidency. I mean, there's a very good chance for it. It would be foolish if Gavin Newsom doesn't decide to run for president because he has this in the bag. He totally has it. This is such a winning aspect. It's very similar to how Trump won last year. So it's also making a trine to Uranus, so it might be sudden or shocking, like unexpected, like people wouldn't expect Newsom to win, but he does. So it's just a very powerful placement. Gavin Newsom will also have Mercury exactly conjunct his Mercury. So again, if you go, he has Mercury at 11 degrees. Mercury will be at exactly 11 degrees. Rahu will be exactly conjunct Gavin Newsom's moon. So Gavin Newsom has his moon at 16 degrees. The North Node will be at 15 degrees, almost 16 degrees of Capricorn, which is another great sign. It means material success. Yeah, I mean, Gavin Newsom, he has a really, really great chart and really good transits for being the president. Mars will be conjunct as Venus, which isn't exactly the best, but it's kind of highlighting more of that Magha energy that he also has, because he has Venus, Jupiter, and Magha Nakshatra, very similar to Donald Trump, who has his ascendant and Mars and Magha Nakshatra. And Magha Nakshatra, regulus is here, right? So recently we had a new moon conjunct the sun. Obviously, all new moons conjunct the sun, but it was on regulus. And it'll also be opposite the south node. So what we saw was Donald Trump was declining. His health is in decline. I think the MAGA movement is going in decline, which I heard this from Joni Patry, but if you look, Donald Trump has his ascendant in MAGA. He has his Mars and ascendant in MAGA, and it sounds very similar to MAGA. But if you look at the nodes have shifted. So when Donald Trump first became president, the North Node was in Leo and Virgo. It was all up in Magha Nakshatra at the very beginning of his presidential career. But now, if you move 8 years ahead in 2025, the North Node is in Pisces. And also, if you don't know, the North Node, or Rahu, it goes backwards in the zodiac. And it's about to enter the end of Aquarius, which is exactly opposite the end of Leo, where Regulus is. Which means the South Node, or K2, will be in Magha. So Donald Trump's leadership, I think the MAGA movement is starting to fragment. I think it's going to fall apart. I really think a lot of Trump's energy and vitality is going to go away. And it's really not good for his health at all. I'm not sure when Trump is going to die. I mean, that sounds like really dark. But if he does, it could happen when next summer, when the K2 makes a conjunction with his ascendant, because the ascendant is your first house. It's kind of like your body and your vitality. Of course, the sixth house rules health, but if but the first house is just like your body and your energy and who you are. And when you have K2 there, K2 sucks and hurts, takes away all of that energy. So and so that's the thing. So when we look at Donald Trump with this recent new moon conjunction, it makes a lot of sense that Gavin Newsom is he's starting to become a lot more popular. A lot of people know his name now. He's becoming at the forefront right when there was this new moon conjunct regulus. So I think that's just another sign that Gavin Newsom is meant to be the next president. He's kind of like the next king. He also has his midheaven at 20 degrees of Gemini and his Mars at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. And it makes a lot of sense because Mars is very argumentative and getting into fights. And Donald Trump, I mean, if you look at Trump's chart, he has Sun, Rahu, and Uranus all at around 20 degrees of Gemini. It's just highlighting Gavin Newsom's midheaven. Gavin Newsom has Mars at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. Donald Trump has his moon at 21 degrees of Sagittarius. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that they're getting into a tango, and Gavin Newsom is throwing a lot of the same shade that Donald Trump does, using the same gimmicks. I mean, they're both. And the other thing is Gavin Newsom has his sun at 16 degrees of Libra, and Trump has his Jupiter at 17 degrees of Libra. So, I mean, they're really using each other to boost their popularity, especially Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has figured out how to use Trump to his advantage, to highlight his career, and it's really cool to see the astrology with that. Oh yeah, Gavin Newsom, one thing, I'm not going to talk so much about his personality because I don't know his personality. I hardly know who Gavin Newsom is, but he does have this really crazy Pluto conjunct ascendant in Virgo, and so I kind of get the sense that he really understands how the media works and how communication works, especially with his midheaven in Gemini. I mean, Mercury is his ruling planet, and especially with Scorpio, because Scorpio is able to look behind the scenes and to read between the lines. Like, this is someone who knows how to communicate and how to he sees the hidden things behind communication. And one thing I've noticed personally, a lot of English professors, a lot of English teachers, a lot of people who love literature, they tend to have their ascendant in Virgo and midheaven in Gemini. I don't know why. It's just something I've noticed. These people really love words. And so if Gavin Newsom wasn't a politician, I can very much see him as someone who is in literature or reads great works. So he's really good at communication. The last thing I want to say is that Joni Patry mentioned Gavin Newsom like a year ago, and I think she got the impression that he was going to run and probably win for the 2024 election. Especially because she talked to a psychic. I can't remember which interview or video this was, but they both mentioned Gavin Newsom. And this was like 2 years ago or a year ago. And I really couldn't understand, like, who is Gavin Newsom? But it's just amazing how, I mean, Joni Patry is really good at astrology because she mentioned Gavin Newsom's name, like, she mentioned his name before he even started to get popular in the news, and now he's in the news all of a sudden, and I think he's going to be the next president. You can definitely see it. I mean, especially if the psychic healer Joni Patry was talking to also mentioned Gavin Newsom, because they said Donald Trump, and then they also said Gavin Newsom. So that's another sign that I think Gavin Newsom will be the next president. Yeah, it's just very easy to tell. I mean, the Republicans are going to have to put up, I mean, his chart is just so perfect for winning. So